Morning guys, welcome to this week's vlog. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of actually competing at a show, we're actually going to be judging at a show. I've never seen how shows are actually operated. I've always competed, never really had an interest in judging until I kind of came to my new yard. They needed some help. I said yeah, I'd come, and that I ended up being a judge for like a tiny tot show jumping. I absolutely loved it. It's so much fun, and it was really interesting to see how shows operate, like behind the scenes and when you're actually not a competitor. So it was really good fun. So now I help at most of the jumping shows. So today I'm going to take you around with me to show you how it does work behind the scenes. I've never seen a vlog or anything to show how shows work, and I think it's quite interesting. And it's interesting, but at the same time it's maybe not what you expect it to be. First and foremost, walk the dog. He loves the ball. He's super easy, but it takes about 5 hours to tie this dog because he's so fit. See you guys in a bit. Just arrived and we've come straight over to the judging box to get the spreadsheet ready, do microphone checks and make sure that the timer works. So let's take a quick look to see what the tiny tots are jumping. Well done, that was a lovely clear round. So far we have done the poles on the floor and the cross pole classes. All has gone well so far. No one's fallen off. I hate to see kids cry. So now we've got Santa here. He's given out the rosettes for each class and waiting for the next one. So, as a judge, I get to stay in the nice warm room.
One is Martha Nicklin on Tinkerbell.
And in the ring now we have Martha riding Tinkerbell. So, how it works on the judges side is I will get a call from this walkie-talkie, which will tell me the name of the rider and the pony. First things first is to make sure that the person before is actually out the ring and the gate is closed. I know as a competitor, it's my biggest pet peeve when I literally walk straight in the ring and they buzz me straight away. They haven't even left, someone else is walking around, gates are open. It would just make it more stressful than it actually needed to be. Being unaffiliated, it's a bit more lenient. So we'll buzz them through and they can get going. So when you get to the jump off, to make sure it's fair, we set up these machines, which is like a laser. So once the horses then jump the jump and trigger the laser, it will then start the same machine to start a timer. So to activate the timer, you have to press a red button on it that says alarm. So they'll go jump their round, and then before they get to their last fence, you then press the red button again, which then sets the alarm for the last jump. Once they've landed, it'll trigger the laser, and then there's your final number. Massively sure on how they actually timed it and made sure it was fair. It's the first time I've seen one of these machines. So once they've jumped, during the round, if they get any faults, so you get 4 faults for a refusal, for a knocked pole, you then would write on the spreadsheet, then write the time down at the end of the course. Then once the whole class is then finished, you just have to filter through the You can either do it manually or you can get the computer to do it, which personally I'm a bit thick and spreadsheets confuse me, so I just look from my eyes, look for the lowest to highest number, and then place them accordingly. With it being a small show jump and you don't usually get seniors, there's been a couple of seniors today, so you would then separate the juniors from seniors, so it's a bit more fair. Okay, so we're now on day 2 of judging. I say day 2, it's actually week 2, so I did tiny talk show jumping last week, and then this week is actually the arena eventing. So with today, you can actually either come and just do the dressage and go home, or you can do your dressage, you then go up to the top school and do a show jumping round, a cross country round, and then all your points are combined together, then you get an overall placing. So today we're going to be judging the arena eventing and then the show jumping. I don't do dressage, I don't understand dressage, they can keep that to themselves. So let's go and have a look. I honestly wish the amount of sun we have today represented warmth. It doesn't. It's 0 degrees. It's not that fun. I thought before we started I would quickly run through how arena eventing works. So it's actually called express arena eventing, which I'll be honest, you're gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going on a whim here of what I've heard. You can either do dressage and the cross country and the show jumping, or you can just do dressage, or you can just do cross country and just do show jumping. Basically, from what I've heard from the grapevine, this is how it works. So we'll have people down there from quite early this morning doing their dressage test. Then once they're ready, they then come up to the arena and do their cross country and their show jumping together. So with the show jumping, they'll do the round, they'll go around, do their show jumps, and as soon as they finish their show jumping course, they go straight, keep going around and go straight into their cross country course. And then you get penaltied on what you did in show jumping, what you did in cross country, then what you did in dressage, and then you get an overall event. That's not even the right word. You get an overall result. So I'm obviously just doing the show jumping and eventing today. So unfortunately, because it's been so freezing, we can't actually use half the course. You can actually see it there. That's one of the steps that you would use to jump out the school, go over a ditch or a fence, and then come back down or jump in or jump out, whichever way it does, and go through some water. But like I say, it's freezing, so we can't actually use it, so we've had to improvise with extra fences in the arena, which we've been setting up this morning. But we've got all the spreadsheets set up, we've done radio checks, we've done the timing checks. We're just measuring out how long the optimum time should be, and then we should be ready to go for our 11 AM start. Now, not only do you get warmth in a judge's box, you also get cookies! So we suddenly got really busy, I had to stop recording. So now it's the end of the day, I'll finish what I was saying. So I've just done just the cross country and the show jumping combined. So when it comes to doing the express eventing, where your dressage gets taken into account, we get given the dressage sheets, they do their rounds, and then we get their faults for jumping, and then their faults they get in the dressage. We add them together, and whoever gets the lowest score then wins, and obviously then goes up. So that is how it works. It's been hectic, honestly, to try and keep up with the timing and make sure they're doing the right course. So with cross country, you have to follow different colours. So are you going to be doing the pink, the blue, or the orange round? It is hectic. It has been such a busy day, but everyone's done so well again today, which is awesome. No falls, nothing nasty. Result as always. So now at the end of the day, I've saved the sheets. They're going to get posted online, and my job is done. So I hope it's been a good insight for you all as to what goes on behind the scenes. So when you go to shows, I know for me, I normally just literally rock up 9 times out of 10 I'm late, and then I'm like, excuse me, can I like bump down the list? I've literally just arrived and I'm probably doing like 10 minutes and I haven't walked the course. A horse has still got boots on. and I'd probably make a right fuss out of it. I think if someone came now and said that to me, I was like, oh my god, you know, like, I get it now. I get why the judges before would always hate it when you would arrive late, especially, and not be ready for your slot. So I appreciate now what goes on behind the scenes, and maybe I hope you guys too. And like I say, it's good to know what goes on behind the scenes when you're always competing, because it does take a lot. It takes an army to run a show, let's be real. It takes an army, and you have got to be watching all the time, and you've got to make sure the equipment's set up all the time, and make sure the equipment's set up correctly, and well, if it isn't, then how are you going to deal with it, and how you're going to deal with different circumstances with horses and kids and or just anyone in general. So I think it's it gives you a bit more appreciation for shows and how they're put together, rather than just turning up like me, being a nuisance, being late, not being ready, and then probably taking half the course out anyways. So, you know, all for nothing. So that is the end of this week's vlog. Like I say, I hope it's been good. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing what's behind the scenes without having to go and be a judge yourself. Give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Adios.